Hi guys, it's Miss White. I am, as you can tell, not in my office. I am at home working as we are practicing our social distancing time. I decided that I still wanted to film the lessons that I have planned for you during this time, and hopefully that will help break up things a little bit for you with your academic work for math and ELA, and maybe help with some of that boredom that I'm sure you're feeling just like I'm feeling. It's tough to be going through this time when we don't have our regular routine that we really enjoy and that we are now realizing that we need so much. I miss seeing you so much. I miss hearing about the goals that you've been meeting in your classes, your sports, the fun things that you do outside of school. Of course, I miss your hugs and I miss you saying, "Hi, Miss White," as I walk down the hallway. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're keeping up with your schoolwork. But this is just one way that we're going to be able to stay in touch. So make sure that if you have a minute when you're finished watching this video, click on the link that's attached, and that will take you to a Google form that you can fill out to let me know how you're doing. And you can also put on there if you want me to shout out in one of my videos. So let's get started with today's lesson. So today's lesson is on diversity and stereotypes, and also ties into bullying a little bit. At the beginning of the year, during our life skills time with 3rd through 5th grade, we did a study on ourselves and our personality types. We found out our strengths and our weaknesses, and we learned about how we are all unique, which means that we're all different and special. So all of this that we did at the beginning of the year relates to this lesson on diversity and stereotypes. And parents, for you, I understand that sometimes these topics can be somewhat uncomfortable to talk about with kids, but just know that we still need to talk about them, and that it's very natural for people at a very young age to begin to notice differences in themselves and others. And this is okay. We just have to be careful, and this is where our teaching with the kids comes in, that we have to be careful that we don't assign a value to these differences or say that one certain quality is better than another quality, or that one person is better than another person because of certain things. This is where the stereotypes begin, and we see that these stereotypes are often at the root of many bullying instances as well. The activity I have for you today comes from this book called Psychology for Kids. It is by Johnny Kincher, and the activity is called "Do You Think in Stereotypes?" So the first thing I'm going to do, I want you to describe the 4 people that I'm about to list for you. Tell what kind of cars they drive, how they dress, what kind of pets they might own, what their hobbies are, and anything else you might think of. Tell or read your descriptions to your adult that's with you, a family member or a friend. See if that person can guess which one you're describing. Are you ready? Okay, our first person is a snob. The second person is a genius. The third, rock star. And the fourth is a used car salesperson. So if you want to pause right now and play along, I'll give you a minute to play along. Okay, so how'd you do? Was your adult able to guess which one you were describing? So our next one is, I'm going to read you a sentence, and it'll also be on your screen, and I want you to choose one word that are in the parentheses to describe these people based on only their first name. Okay, are you ready? Number 1. Joey is younger or older than Joe, and also somewhat tougher or cuter. What do you think? Number 2. Robert is more easygoing or strict than Bob. Bob seems a little older or younger than Robbie. Michael is a lot more or less fun to be around than Mike. Mickey is worse or better at baseball than either Michael or Mike. Allison is better or worse at math than Allie. Mandy is older or younger than Amanda. Rebecca is more or less likely to get you to the airport on time than Becky. So I hope you were able to choose and play along with that little game and kind of compare your answers with your adult that you're playing with. So here's something kind of cool to think about. This is what the book says. What's in a name? Well, a lot, it seems, based on nothing but first names. We just made judgments on people's intelligence, their athletic ability, their personality, their age, and their looks. Was it easy or hard for you to make those judgments? If it was easy, then perhaps you think in stereotypes. So you can start to see the problem when we think in stereotypes. We would tend to make a judgment on a whole person just based on a couple of pieces of information, such as their first name. So you can see where this becomes very limiting in who you might choose to make friends with. So now it's time to discuss with your adult. Has there ever been a time in your life when you were hurt by a stereotype? Maybe you were not allowed to play a sport because girls don't play that certain type of sport. Or maybe you felt embarrassed because boys don't cry. Also talk about a time maybe when you have felt judged by people in your life for the way you look or how you talk or where you live. And let's do an activity after this video to help remind us to make sure we're finding out more than just a couple of pieces of information about a person before we decide whether or not to be their friend. Here's what I want you to do. The next time you're coloring or drawing a picture, draw a poster of "No stereotypes allowed" and hang that up, and that will help us all remember to make sure that we're not thinking in stereotypes. I so hope that you enjoyed my lesson on diversity, stereotypes, and uniqueness today. I hope that it will help you remember to keep an open mind about everyone and how we all have something to add to a group, and that we should make sure that we find out more than just what meets the eye about people before we make a judgment and decide whether we want to be their friend. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Don't forget to click on the link below and let me know how you're doing by filling out my Google form. And also let me know if you want a shout out in my next video. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.